Hello and welcome to Simuldub Saints, your guide to seasonal anime dubs. I'm your host, LaserKid, and with me as always is my trusty co-host.
Hello, I am Archangel, lover of cat girls.
You've been listening to our theme song, Wherever I Go, from front of the podcast, Ampren. Please check out their awesome music, link in the description.
And this episode, we are shouting out Secret Galaxy. More about them at the end.
Yeah, I found someone to shout out for once.
Yeah,
it's definitely more of a me channel than a you channel. Well, first of all, it's been a hot minute, everyone. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. We had some pre-recorded content for all of you that not most of you saw from the looks of it, but hopefully those of you that did enjoyed it. But we're back. It's a new year and a new Simuldub Saints ready to rock and roll. And because we effectively have been gone for a couple of weeks in terms of the news, we've got an avalanche of news. We're going to go through this moderately quickly. I don't know if I'll throw images up or not. It depends on how easy it is to match the pace I'm going to try and meet. But if I don't, apologies. There's just a lot. Some of which we're going to talk more about than others. For example, Sense to Be a Hero English dub reveals same-day release and the cast and crew. And oh my god, David Tronga as Xylo is god tier. We've already watched episode 1, which highly recommend.
Yes. So 2 points to note. The animation itself has something of an old school quality. I haven't seen this one, but LK says it reminds me of Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga is not old.
Okay, well, it feels old school to me in a good way.
Yeah, Vinland Saga is like from a couple of years back, but yes, it definitely has a Vinland Saga feel to it.
Okay. And the other thing to note is this is definitely a me story and a me protagonist.
Absolutely. This is definitely one of Archangel's, although even someone like me can still enjoy it. It was really well done.
Oh, yeah.
In sadder news, we've already covered that it was going to happen, but it has happened. Studio Gainax is officially gone. It is dissolved after 42 years. An absolute legend. Absolute legend in the industry. It hasn't produced anything new. It's been effectively dead for a long time, but it's dead now. In other news, Digimon BEATBREAK English dub has released 5 episodes already. The news actually says it's going to, but it has. And it's Digimon, you know! This was going to be on my list of why didn't you dub this, but now they have. And as a Digimon fan, I am so happy. Moving along, Gachikuta Season 2 anime has been announced. I love when they don't make us wait.
Indeed.
Continuing the announcements, Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Final Part, The Calamity, has been announced for July 2026. Late birthday present.
Still not over?
They still have one last part. They released one part every year for the last several years, except for last year where they took an extra year to work on it.
Okay.
Dawn to Dawn Season 3 reveals 2027 premiere. Why 2027? Speaking of why 2027, Mashal Season 3 is also 2027. Why?
Because there are only so many animators in the world, and have you seen the quality of the animation in both those shows? You don't knock that out in an afternoon.
No. I know. I'm just bitching, but yes, it'll be nice to see them when they come out. Something that is coming this year that we're gonna both be happy about because this summer is now gonna be epic. Elusive Samurai Season 2 is coming out in July.
Excellent.
In April, we're getting Dr. Stone Science Future Core 3, the last one. Getting excited. One that actually I didn't know until I was getting. I mean, I didn't know most of these, but one that hit me as a surprise. Totoro Wants to Be a Kamen Rider is continuing in January, as in now. So,
excellent.
Rider Punch! If you're like me, you've been watching the last season of My Hero Academia, but it's not quite over. They're making one more final episode titled More, based on the bonus chapter from the graphic novel release that was not in the Shonen Jump magazine. So, go beyond. +1. Kaiju number 8 anime final chapter production announced. Already? We just had season 2. How is it already almost over?
He's gonna die. Heroically, one assumes, but yeah, no, there's no way you ended a story like this quickly unless the ultimate sacrifice shit. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's my official prediction.
I hadn't even heard of the manga ending, so ooh man, I was not ready for this one to end yet.
That's assuming that this is the manga also ends like this. If they're just ending the anime at a certain point, then obviously all bets are off.
I mean, the title is literally the final chapter.
So yeah, that's my prediction on that basis.
So, woof. Another great show, though. And our last piece of news. Huh?
I said still more coming in 2026.
Oh, yes. We got one last piece of news. That time I got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 4 is doing a split 5 core starting in April. 5 core. It's going to be a huge season. That's going to be more than a year's worth of anime. Wow.
Well, hopefully none of those core will be people standing around and talking.
It's fine if it's good talking, but yes, hopefully. I mean,
if you know what I'm referring to, you know. Don't worry about it.
I know what you're referring to, but it got better.
Yeah, no, I'm saying to the audience, if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it.
But that is our news.
Yep.
And y'all know what you're here for. You clicked on the thumbnail. You know what's up. It's our long held tradition.
Yep. The least important and least credible awards show after the Game Awards. It is the Simuldub Saints.
Yes, awards. It is our Fall 2025 seasonal awards. And we will begin with the Why Isn't This Dubbed award, because I actually have a full list.
Okay, I don't, but proceed.
Okay, well, my number 3 is The Fated Magical Princess Who Made Me a Princess. This show is cute, adorable, but also it's got that fuckery that you love, Archangel. There's some plotting and things going on that have to be dealt with. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
My second place, Dad's a Hero, Mom's a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator. It's a show, the label is on the tin. Dad is the hero who defeated the Demon Lord. Mom is the Spirit Queen, and I'm an isekai girl. And the kingdom kind of doesn't want to turn a blind eye to that. That's all very valuable. And again, with the politicking, but also family drama. And it melds into a very warm-hearted but realistic, at least ish, story about dealing with a corrupt king, basically.
Fun.
And the final entry, and the one that I am most upset about not getting a dub, is A While Last Boss Appeared. Story involves a guy who plays in this MMO, and he makes a character that is so OP that it is distracting from the MMO itself. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be a boss. You guys can beat me, and then we'll make a dramatic thing of it, and then we can go play the actual game. And that happens, but then he gets a special message on his computer. Would you like another quest? He says yes. That was a mistake. He got isekai'd for it into the body of his, by the way, female character, who is now in a real fantasy world where all of those things happened, but it's now several hundred years later, and everything has gone to hell. And the character he's playing, Lufus Mafal, basically was the only one keeping the Demon Lord away, keeping the demons at bay, but she was also like a ruling over all of humanity. Not tyrannically. They make this point very clearly. She is not tyrannical, but the humans of the world felt like they were didn't like being under her thumb, so they rebelled against her. But that got them into a much worse situation. There's several things going on.
I'd say, okay, have fun with that.
Several
Bye.
things going on. Many of her former servants feel the exact way you do and are hastening the destruction of humankind.
No, just let
Um,
them be. Let them be.
the,
They wanted to do their own thing. Let them do their own thing, for better or worse.
Many humans regret what's going on. There's a cult to Lufus now.
Okay, well, don't
And
want any
they
part
want
of
her
that.
back. Neither does she. And also, of course, the demons are doing things, but there's also a plot involving the goddess. There's some shit going on, and I don't want to say more than that. But if that's not enough, this is not the world of the MMO. This is
Hmm.
this is made clear when certain things happen, and the memories of Lufos, the actual person, spill into our main character. Is like, wait, these are her memories. I didn't do any of that. So something's going on. Very good show. Fantastic animation. Great storytelling. This needs a dub. It screams for it. Why it didn't get one, I will never know.
Okay, well, let's get cranking.
It was going to be my second place, but then Digimon Beat Break got a dub, so, you know. But that is it for the Why Isn't This Dubbed award. So now we're going to move on to the best character arc. And as per tradition, arc, you get to start with the best character arc. Because I think
Okay.
I'm funny.
All right, so that would be Achiro Nanako from Tojima wants to be a common writer, which is the washed up Yakuza guy who manages to join Shocker, his childhood dream. And he's just such a weird and interesting
Oh, he's a
character.
great character. That's an excellent choice. I agree so much. He's actually my second place choice.
Yeah, because despite, you know, idolizing Shocker and stuff, I don't think he's a villain at heart, is the weird thing. Just,
He's
I think he's kind of what his
he's
life made him.
he sees Shocker as the way to deal with the problems he's dealt with. He's had quite a tragic
Right,
life.
but even as a little kid, he saw Shocker as, having the strength to deal with whatever, and also, it was in opposition to the kids who were bullying him and stuff. It's interesting.
Fair enough. I like his character arc because he does start off as just a thug, but you learn more and more as he goes along. He's got ties of loyalty that go all over
Oh
the
yeah,
place. He's
yeah,
got a
no,
heart.
he's a man of honor.
He is a dark knight, if you will.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think that he was kind of dead inside when all this started and was just going through the motions of this life he'd fallen into. And now this everything that's happening, he's starting to find his sense of self again, just like all the other characters.
Oh yeah, no. Hachiro Nakao is an absolute great character.
Yeah, it's the same trope of someone who's fallen into being a corporate drone, only his office job is to punch people.
Indeed. Well,
Uh
I mean, he was a
which
literal yakuza, so
Right,
yes.
that's the thing, but it just kind of funny that they're treating it the same way as the trope of the guy in the 9 to 5 salary man thing, and it kind of is for him, which
It
is kind of
is,
weird.
yes.
So I don't know if they meant to make that point, but I find it hilarious.
Who knows? But I agree. Like I said, it's my number two. I suppose I should get to my
Indeed.
number three though,
All
and that's
right,
Lilisa Suzunomiya in Rock is the Lady's Modesty. Because how could I
fine
not?
choice.
She starts off as, I can't do that. I have to be a lady. Not because she wants to be personally, but she wants to live up to her mother's expectations and needs. She's trying to be a good daughter.
Hmm.
But she slowly accepts that she is her own person and she's got to rock. But she doesn't just rock for herself, she also grows into, hey, let's help other people. Other people want to rock. Let's help them along. She sacrifices quite a bit to help out Tina, who would not be able to do a lot of this without her help. She doesn't just want it for herself, she wants it for those around her. And that is such a great character growth. I had to shout out Lilisa.
Okay.
We already know my number 2 is Hachiro Nakao, because we've already talked about him at length, because he was both of our picks. But who's your number 2 pick?
That would be Mr. Martial Law of Let's Play.
Excellent choice.
Just
Wow.
because he is all too real.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of the theme for that show. You'll be hearing a lot about Let's Play from me today. And yeah, that's kind
You'll
of the
be hearing
running
about
theme
it.
of that show is it's way too real.
You'll be hearing a bunch from me as well. Probably not as much, but still quite a bit. Let's Play is fantastic. Martial Law is a great character who absolutely goes through character arcs. I mean, he starts off coming off as this, devil may care, but he does care.
Totally. Yeah, more like having one of those moments where everything you think you know about how you put your life together, you realize that at least a large part of it is bullshit, and now you need to reevaluate from scratch.
Oh, gosh, yep. Yep.
If you've never had one of those moments, then yeah,
You are very lucky, and it's coming.
no. It means you haven't actually critically thought about anything in your life. Ever.
That's fair. Well, you're like so we already know my number 2. So who's your number 1?
Well, my number 1 is Miss Samara Young, also of Let's Play, who
Amazing.
she
choice.
really speaks to me as, I don't come from an important family, but in terms of work-life balance with an office job and things like that, and, being comfortable with the fact that you are an adult and it's okay to do adult things and speak to other adults as an adult and so forth. That's something that, I mean, it's 10 or so years ago in the rearview mirror for me now, but starting my job, which is my first real job about 10 years ago now, yeah, it's something that you have to face up to, and it's not easy.
Absolutely. That is an excellent choice. Probably my number 4 would be Samara Young. She's a great choice. But my number 1 has got to go to Shiori Fuyumura from Sanda. You want to talk about a character that grows. She starts off as the definition of selfish. I mean, she cares a lot about Ono out of the gate, but it's this I want Ono. It's not even I care about Ono. She does, but it's for selfish reasons. It's because Ono makes her feel good. The plot of Sonda kind of forces her to ironically grow up. She's forced to contend with several other individuals that become important to her, and how much she even comes to realize she didn't properly take care of Ona the way she should have once she got her, which leads her to actually do so in one of the most heartbreaking sequences in the entire show, which says so much.
Well, there's nothing ironic about it. Sonda is all about growing up. Full stop.
Yes, absolutely. And Shiori Fuyumura, the irony I was referring to is that Academy is all about not growing up.
Right. Well,
that's what I meant by ironic. Yes, in terms of the narrative, yes, absolutely nothing ironic about it. That's the whole point of the show. I agree with you completely. And her growing up is the best character arc, in my opinion, for the season at least. And that's our best character arcs, which leads us down to our next category, the best soundtrack. This is always the hardest one to pick because you have to really think about it. I actually, when I was picking, I had several weeks when I was going through this, and I was paying very close attention to the soundtracks.
I should have.
And that helped me decide, but I am very confident in my decisions.
Okay.
My number 3 goes to the most obvious choice, Rock is a Lady's Modesty. It is a fantastic soundtrack. It's full of rock because it has to be, and it absolutely slaps. Fantastic choice across, fantastic soundtrack across the board.
Yep, and spoiler alert, that's my number 1. Because, at least from my point of view, how could it be anything else this season?
Well, I have 2 arguments against that, but I mean, really good stuff all around, so yes.
Okay.
But what is your number 3?
My number 3 is The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess, because it does such a good job of balancing comedy and the just enough seriousness,
That's fair.
um, and which is a hard balance to pull off.
It is, and I would agree it does a good job. It's probably my number 4.
Okay.
My number 2 is one that you could not have picked because you didn't watch it. But I did with my friends, and this is almost a lifetime achievement award for the whole franchise. My Hero Academia final season.
Yeah.
All I have to do is play You Say Run. If you've never heard
Well,
You Say Run.
if Vigilantes is anything to go by, it's well earned.
Vigilantes is very similar. Hero Academia just they spared nothing in this final season, and you're going to hear a lot about it from me. It's my last chance to. It's my only chance because I didn't watch the last season in time, and this one I did. And holy shit, the soundtrack on this is as good as it always has been.
Yeah. I do intend to try sitting down and watching My Hero Academia by myself someday, but it'll basically be sometime when I'm stuck with nothing, with no computer, because my tolerance for watching large amounts of anime by myself is low.
Fair enough. It
So,
is all done now, so you can literally watch the whole.
yep, that's the thought.
All right, well, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer, because of, I did go back and sample a few other episodes from throughout the franchise, the real thing, and the way that this soundtrack echoes the soundtrack of the shows without just ripping it off. As with all other aspects of the show, the soundtrack is an absolute love letter.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
thought it
Tojima Wants to Be a
deserved
Common Writer is
recognition
great.
for that.
And I didn't realize how much it was doing that because I just watched that one episode with you, the first episode.
Yeah, I'm no music expert. I don't have that much of an ear, but it seemed to me that it was very much evoking the feel of the soundtrack of the old shows.
I fully believe you because it oozes that love from its pores.
Yes.
My number 1 had to go to Let's Play.
Okay.
If you're a gamer like we are, you will know these tunes, even though they're not the tunes you think they are. They literally have their own version of the Mario Victory music in there that is clearly the Mario Victory music without legally being the Mario Victory music, and it is. And they do this across the board with all of the music. It's all internally recognizable. You know what this is, even though it's not quite that. And it's so good. This is a show, honestly, for the millennial generation of gamers and anime watchers. It is really good. The soundtrack is god tier.
Yeah, for us, by us, I think, and about us, certainly.
I would definitely agree. And I think that oozes into the soundtrack. And of course, your number 1 we've already said, but it is
Rock is a Lady's Modesty, because duh.
fair. That is fair. You're going to be hearing more about Rock is a Lady's Modesty as we go along.
Oh, yes.
But I suppose it's time to go from the soundtrack to the other musical fun of this, the best intro. So, Ark, what is your number 3 best intro?
My number 3 is Super Big Love by Tenru Gun for Bad Girl, which honestly really grew on me. This is incredibly spastic if you haven't listened to it, but it's more because I always take into account not just the song but the animation as well, and the song and animation combo here really fits the show very precisely. That spastic, weird, and kind of stupid aspect of it in a good way is incredibly fitting. So there you go.
Indeed. I do agree it is fitting. It didn't quite make my list, but it is a good choice.
I really like Bad Girl just because it is so stupidly funny. It made me, well, we'll talk about that, but yeah.
We'll talk about Bad Girl later, yeah. My number 3 goes to Ash by Alexandros for Sword of the Demon Hunter. You want to talk about the kind of music that sits with me? Sword of the Demon Hunter's intro and ending, spoiler alert, both just haunt the hell out of me for this season, this core. As did the last one. And it's just so... It's not just the music, it's the animation that goes with it. There's this bittersweet nostalgia that goes with both the intro and the ending that just doesn't... I mean, in this case, it's just, I will remember you. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I will remember this intro. But I suppose that leads us to your number 2.
Well, my number 2 is Ready to Rock by Bandmade, who seem to show up here with remarkable regularity.
Yes, indeed.
As well as having one of the best band names ever, at least for current active bands. But yes, for Rock is a Lady's Modesty, and yeah, what more needs to be said?
That intro, it's not just the music, it's the animation. Spoiler alert, it's my number 1. You want to talk about musical and animation symmetry? This is the encapsulation of the show in both music and visuals. There's a sequence where they're literally flipping us off. And they have fun with it visually, and the animation is bouncy and electric right along with the music. It is a god-tier intro. I would put this up for the year, not just the season, but we'll do that another time. But it is definitely my number 1 for the season.
Okay.
But my number 2 is also one that I gave. This one, the song is good, but it's the visuals that won it second place, and that's Childlike Adults by Yama for Sonda. The stylization overload. The black and white with the red, and the music is going with it. If the music is not there, I'm not trying to say the music's bad, it's actually really, really good. But the visuals that go with it are what really propel it into second place for me.
Yep. I'd say that's probably my number 4. It's almost like Sonda's art won an award from me. Spoiler.
Oh, did it now? That's very interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so speaking of the visuals knocking something out of the park, my number 1 is 1 2 Play by Toshinobu Kubota for Let's Play. And the song itself is good and fitting, but oh my god, the animation and just the cleverness, the fucking cleverness of every frame of that animation, the amount of love, care, and references that are packed into every fucking frame of that intro. It's probably gonna. It's a strong contender for best of the year for me on that basis.
It was on my list, but the competition was too strong. But it is very good.
Yeah, no, and again, wouldn't it be boring if we all agreed with each other?
Indeed, so. we have some overlap, but we do it separately.
Oh yeah,
because
you haven't noticed by now, folks. We're very different people with very different tastes.
Yes, there's some overlap, but we have very different things. All right, well, I suppose it's time for the best closing. And how could I better start this list off than with One More Time by Teddy Lloyd for Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider.
Indeed.
This is the case for the music and the animation.
Oh yes. So much so that it won my number 1 spot, and I will rave about it in due course.
Okay. For myself, I love the stop motion takoyaki ball just doing its thing, and powering through stuff, and it's its own little mini story. It's great. It's a lot of fun. very well produced, and the music is catchy because it's one more time. Talk about songs that get stuck in your head.
Oh yeah.
But that is my number 3.
And my number 3 is, this is probably just me being a simp, but fuck it. My number 3 is Bad Surprise by the same artist, Tenrogun, for Bad Girl. And I just I just found it so cute. It's like, they're being all, gyaru and dismissive and stuff, and I just want to pat them on the head. So,
Oh gosh. I can't say that I would have given those awards, but I mean, I could totally see why you would.
I am what I am, and I like what I like.
I mean,
And
you fell for that, I fell for something else, so I totally get it.
So to quote a line from the second part of the sequel Spy show that I still need to show you at some point, at a certain age, a man's got to be what he deserves.
Fair enough. Well, my number 2 goes to Anpren by Fake Type. You want to talk about a band name? Holy shit, that's a great band name. For Sword of the Demon Hunter. Again, it's got that. Just, oh my god, it pierces my soul. This one is being carried mostly by the music, but the visuals help. Because the visuals is just one long painting of basically everything that's been going on in the story, and it's painful but nostalgic at the same. It's like looking back at your own life. There's the good, there's the bad, there's the nostalgia, the pain. It really resonated.
Indeed. Fine choice, sir. All right, and my number 2 is, let me see if I can pronounce this right, Yume Janai Nara Nana no Sa by Little Glee Monster, yet another amazing name, for Rock is a Lady's Modesty.
And I agree so much, that's my number 1.
Yep, and pretty much all the praise we gave to Ready to Rock and its accompanying animation.
Oh, absolutely. It's stylistically the same kind of thing. It's amazing. The music is amazing. Rock is a Lady's Modesty basically owns Best Intro and Ending for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's if we're arguing by sets, absolutely.
Yes, well, I'm number 1 both of them for a reason.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That we already know what your number 1 is.
Before many times, but yeah, I cannot. You cannot convince me that it doesn't exist in the same continuity with your boy Kongming and Jellyfish.
I can see it. I can see it.
All right. Anyway, and my number 1, as mentioned, is One More Time by Teddy Lloyd from Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. And yeah, the silly stop motion animation, the just absolute lampshading of the tropes, but also the message that it sends is absolutely consistent with the show, in that it doesn't matter how small or insignificant you are. The only thing stopping you from being badass is you.
True. And it's a really good. I mean, I
and
like
badass isn't just about punching things.
No, it is not.
It can take any form you can imagine.
Yeah, you put more significance on it than I did, but it is really good. It
resonated with me, and
that's that's good enough reason.
As someone who takes an inordinate amount of pride in the art of teaching, even about fairly boring stuff, yeah.
All right. We're bound to the category that is always Archangel's fault. These would not have existed if it were me, but Archangel wanted them, so it's time for the best waifu.
All right. So my number 3 is Malfiria Martial Raid from Past the Monster Meet Milady.
That's funny because that's
lovely protagonist.
That's my number 2.
Yep. And she is just so lovable and awkward and adorable.
She's lovable, awkward, adorable, but she's also a freaking genius and sweet as hell. That is marriage material right there.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, as our main character of that show would certainly agree. My number three, it's me. I had to go with the crazy lady, so it's Otoha Kurogane from Rocket Lee's Modesty. She's my kind of crazy.
Fair enough.
So what's
Yep.
your
She
number
certainly
two?
talks a good game in that regard, yes. Um, okay, so my number two is Yukarisu-san from Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer, who is the Shocker Lady,
Oh, so that's your
if
kind of
I'm
crazy.
remembering. Sort of. It's more okay. So spoiler alert. My number three and my number two for Husbando and Waifu are paired, so it's more like
You.
couples awards.
I
But
did a
the
little
number
bit of
ones
that.
are all their own.
I did a little bit of that actually for my number two and my number one as well. So
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of my way of doing best couple without making you add yet another category.
I know you do that, and like I said, I've actually kind of did that too this time,
Yeah, I
somewhat.
mean, go for it. Um, all right, and so Lady Malfiria is your number two, as we've mentioned.
Yes, indeed. So who's your number one?
That would be Mio Kagawa from A Star Brighter Than the Sun, who is the straight faced, straight laced girlfriend of the trio.
Ah,
And
yes.
the one who just I adore her because just the way she just spits straight truth with a straight face, I find very OMG want.
Fair enough. Well, it's funny because, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But I have someone from Star Bright in the Sun as well on my one of these lists, but it's not the waifu list.
Okay.
But my number one goes to the only waifu I could ever ask for, and that's your Forger in Spy Family.
Well, you have a stronger stomach than I do.
Well, I probably do the cooking, but
Fair enough. In that case, yeah, a fine choice. She is certainly an amazing lady.
Indeed.
Although
Well,
keep in mind, you also get Yuri as a brother-in-law.
I don't mind. We'll play video games with him.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Mm. I just won't eat any. I won't drink anything he serves me. That's all.
Well, maybe I just know more about this test.
Oh my gosh. Spy Family's great, y'all.
Oh god, yes. It doesn't get nearly as many awards this season just because it's not new, but it's still kicking all the ass.
I've given it several awards. It's new, but it's not new for us.
Yeah.
Or it is new for
Yeah.
Simuldub Saints because we hadn't ever reviewed the other seasons, although we
Really?
watched them. No.
Okay. Well, anyway. All right. So,
So
onto the husbandos. Who goes
indeed,
first?
I do in this case.
Okay.
You just started on waifu, so my number three, Husbando, goes to Koki Kamishiro because he had to make the list.
Fine choice.
He's a Giga Chad, but not enough to beat other Giga Chads that I will be talking about when we get to that list. But in terms of romantic Giga Chads, you couldn't. If it was romantic Giga Chads, he'd be number one.
Indeed.
So who's your number three?
So my number three is well, to pair with Lady Malfiria would be Duke Arsteed Roger Duke Galbraith from Past the Monster Meat Lady, one of the luckiest motherfuckers this season.
Agreed. So much he's my number two. I also paired him with Melfi. It's just mine was in number two in both cases.
Yep. Fine man with some undeserved self-esteem issues that are not his fault, but I think will be shortly corrected.
Indeed. But he's also a very loving man. And so I have to give him that as well.
Yes. Oh yeah, no.
But speaking of loving men, who's your number two?
Well, my number two would be you. Oh, we already said your number two. I'm smart. Okay, my number two is Mitsuba Shinamura from Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer, also known as Writer Man. And the two of them make such a sickeningly cute couple that it
That-
deserved an award.
That's fair enough. My number one is Lloyd Forger.
Yes, well, it doesn't get much more sploosh than that, I suppose.
I mean, he doesn't really understand that romance thing, but he's got that loyalty thing going down pat.
Yeah, if he ever remembers that he's a human being, I think he would be a very good partner.
I would agree. And I think he's the perfect partner for your Forger.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're both
Yeah.
a little messed up.
Right. No, I think yeah, at least in the end game, I imagine Anya gets the three of them to probably retire to either to Westalis or more likely to some third country. Like they all three of them go rogue. That would be the smart thing to do.
I
Is basically just
don't
go
think Lloyd would do
dig a
that.
hole and depends if he thought he was no longer needed.
Well, that would do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my
Anyway.
number one. Who's yours?
Mr. Charles Jones of Let's Play, just because he is so fucking sexy. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a good choice. He is definitely a good choice.
Yeah. So at least this number one award could be Arcade Joel's I'm Not Gay But award of the season.
All right. Well, Ark, we've gone to the biggest Chad. And your number 3 is my number 3. And it was the first one to be named by either one of us when we were talking about awards. So why don't you tell us our number 3 biggest Chad?
That would be young Master Damien Desmond of Spy Family, who I think is demonstrating finest traditions of the Academy and the finest traditions of the Austanian ruling class by standing up to protect his friends
Absolutely.
and classmates.
For someone so young to be willing to do that, damn, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's just pure young male stupidity instinct, but the fact that that's the way that that's being directed in that bodes very well for his future.
Indeed. Well, Ark, why don't you tell us your number 2?
So my number 2 is Tanzaburo Tojima of Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer, our protagonist.
He is such a gigajet, he stole my number 1 spot because, goddamn. I could not think of someone more badass than him, to be honest with you. But I suppose we'll
Definitely.
find out when we get to yours, because you do have one more. But
Yep. So
Tanzaburo
who's your-
Tojima is crazy. But my number 2 goes to Engine of Gachi Akuta. Please hurt me! Please attack me! No.
Well, that's the old joke about the perfect sadist and the perfect masochist.
Yes. Well, I see
Where
the
the masochist begs and pleads to be hurt and abused, and the sadist just smiles and says no.
it was a little more than that in this situation.
Of
but-
course, but it's still lets me tell that sick joke, and it makes me happy.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you're happy then. I don't really like calling him a sadist because it's not really what was going on there,
No. It just
and that's what
parallels
that
joke.
implies. But anyway, he was such a badass where he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna move on, and he's clearly got the best interest of his people in mind.
Yeah, well, and also, why would I waste time fighting you if I don't have to? I've got things to do.
Well, I mean, he could have just tried to, pound him in and move on, but he's like, no. And I actually took a lot of those, you're not ready to fight, kid. But it was also really, really, really funny. So he earned his number 2 spot for me for that. So who's your number 1?
So this is Archangel going off completely into left field and just choosing someone who resonated with me for entirely personal reasons, which is young Mr. Yushin Izawa from A Star Brighter Than the Sun, who's the the very calm guy who he just comports himself in such a gentlemanly and composed manner for somebody that age that it's like I wish I was that cool when I was in high school.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's our biggest chads, and now it's time to laugh. I can't remember who's supposed to go first now, but I think it's you.
Um, sure. Okay.
So, what is your
So
number 3 funniest show?
maybe Tojima wants to be a common writer.
I mean, that's
This
fair.
is
That's
so
fair.
bonkers.
That show is absolutely insane. I cannot argue with that. But my
And
number
yours,
3 is Spy Family because that show makes me
pro-
laugh like nothing else.
yep, probably my number 4 or 5.
Fair enough. What's your number 2?
My number 2 would be the dark history of the reincarnated villainess because oh my god.
That show is so beautifully stupid. It's my number 1.
Fair enough.
But my number 2 is May I Ask for One Final Thing? That show made me laugh a lot.
Fair enough. That's again either 4 or 5. I'm not sure between that and Spy Family. I'm not sure which one would be higher, but oh my
Well, I
goodness.
guess that leaves us with your number 1.
My number 1 is Bad Girl. There is no show this season that consistently just reduced me to absolute stitches like Bad Girl. It is so beautifully stupid.
It did that for me at first, but it kind of repeated the same jokes, so that stopped being funny for me. It kind of turned into Excel Saga for me. It
Hasn't
still had
done that for
occasional
me
moments.
yet.
It still has some
Either your
moments, but
memory is better than mine, or it hasn't done that for me yet. I don't know. It's
I mean,
just
that's just
I think
personal.
it's probably also I'm not thinking about it too hard, which probably makes it better.
I guess it's not a bad show. It's not, and I totally see why it make you laugh. It is a funny show.
Yeah, I just for funniest show, I just go by okay, which one has most consistently made me
Oh,
bust out laughing?
I'm the same way. It's just that it didn't quite do that for me. That's all.
Oh,
But I mean, it can be a very funny show when it doesn't repeat the same jokes for me.
well, it-
Well, from humor to explosions, it's going into best action.
okay,
So my number 3 for best action this season goes to Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer.
a fine
And if
choice.
that's
So
my number
fine.
3, oh, go ahead.
Yep, it's and so fine that it's my number 1.
Excellent choice. It is a really good one. But if that's my number 3, what's to say about my number 2 and my number 1?
Yeah.
Because it is so good. But what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Spy Family because even though we haven't had as much balls out action so far yet this season, it still is in a class of its own when it comes to that sort of thing.
When Spy Family does action, I'd agree, but it, like I said, didn't really
Exactly.
do it. So I didn't really consider it for this season. For previous seasons, yeah, I totally agree. My number
Consider a lifetime
2.
achievement then.
Oh, I get it. I've got one of those in my number 1 spot as well. Although
Fair
it can
enough.
also hold its own. But my number 2 goes to Sonda.
Okay. Interesting.
Dude, Santa Claus fights are choreographed incredibly well. We got whenever he's fighting someone, it is kinetic as hell.
Okay. I didn't
I
really think about it as an action show, but now that you mention it, yeah.
It's not an action show by itself. It's more of a drama. But when it has it neither is Spy Family. But when it has action, so that's my number 2. But what's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 is Hero Without a Class because while it doesn't
Excellent
do
choice.
anything particularly unusual with what it's portraying, it's just let's take something normal, even generic, and just crank it up to 11.
That's my number 4 for that exact reason. Excellent choice. Very good show. One, I wanted to get more awards than I was able to, just because of the
Yeah,
competition.
I hear
Hero
you.
Without a Class is a great show.
Yeah, it just as so frequently the case these days, it's got a stacked field that it's competing in.
All right. Well, we already know that your number one is Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer. Do you want to say anything additional
Indeed.
about that?
Rider punch.
Fair answer. My number one could be a series achievement award, and it probably is, but it's also for itself. My Hero Academia final season. It's just not fair. Nothing could beat that. It's the final battle between the main character and the main antagonist. And it does not disappoint. The big climactic battle. But it's not just the main character. Everyone is here. I this season alone earns that. But if you look across the whole season, the whole series rather, Hero Academia is top tier action. I don't know what else to tell you.
Indeed.
And that brings us to best animation.
All right, so I think it's your turn to go first.
I think you're right.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
So my number three is Spy Family, because even when it's not crazy action, the animation is so good on this show. Very fluid, very detailed.
Indeed. My number three is Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer because duh.
And I agree so much. That's my number two.
Yep. And my number two is Let's Play, with coming back to this thing that I say a lot. It seems to be a very me thing of making it feel very real in the real world, which is, I think, very difficult to do.
Fair enough. And our number one is the same, and I can totally see why.
Oh yeah, Rock is the Lady's Modesty for that rotoscoping, if nothing else.
Rotoscoping, and I've since confirmed that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, how else? It's either that or a psychotic level of overwork.
Yeah, no, and it's god tier animation.
Yes.
The movement on the guitars is
Yeah.
spectacular.
Yeah, well, they just got a couple of really good Class A guitarists and captured their hand movements.
I mean, we say just, but I mean, you still have to draw over it,
Oh, sure.
and it looks so good.
Yeah.
And even when they're not doing that, they still move really well. Well, that takes us to the best drama. And it looks like we had the same number three. And I can't remember. I think, is it me first or you first this time?
I think it's me.
All right. Well, what's our number three?
Our number three is Sword of the Demon Hunter. Perennial
Again,
contender for this.
oh, yes. If this was brand new, it'd probably be number one. But it's been with us for a while now, so it's not quite topping the chart for me. But Sword of the Demon Hunter, despite me giving it a disadvantage for having been around, is still one of the best dramas I've ever seen. More, please. Don't leave it there, I swear. Well, what's your number
Indeed.
what's your number two, Ark?
Yeah. So yeah, in particular, I want to know more about what happened between the old period and the modern day. But
That's
anyway,
what I want to know as well.
yeah. Anywho, so my number two is Sanda because
choice.
holy shit.
No, that's probably my number four. Very good choice. My number two proves that I'm a softie. I say I don't like slice of life. I say I don't like romance. And yet I'm giving number two to Star Brighter Than the Sun. If it's done well enough, I'll love it anyway. And it's done well enough. Oh my god. Star Brighter Than the Sun was a fantastic emotional journey.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to have been on.
My observation with you, LK, is that you have a very high bar for these things, but when you like them, you really like them.
That's probably fair. I don't normally
That's
say I
just
like
been my
them, but
observation. This and honey lemon soda, and I think
Honey
there were
Lemon
two
Soda was
others.
very good. There's a couple other Shikimoris, not just a cutie, Ice
Right.
Guy. There's been several that I've liked.
hmm
But I don't usually. But
What was
when
it?
I do, you're right. When
Insomniacs
I do, I
After
really do.
Dark.
Insomniacs After School, yeah,
Yeah.
that was good too. You like that one more than I did, but I did like it.
Yeah.
Well, we have the same number one again.
Oh yeah.
And what else could it possibly have been?
Yeah. Let's play. It's just
Let's play.
way too real.
Amazing. We did a whole episode on it if you really need the detailed thoughts, but it is a fantastic show. And we're still waiting to finish that because Dub's behind due to holidays, but loved it all the same.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's my turn to go first for Best Protagonist. And my number 3 goes to Deku from My Hero Academia final season. And he's only in 3rd place because this is the 8th season of the whole show.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would give this man number 1.
Must not make Zelda joke.
It is absolutely that's actually exactly why he's called Deku. Trees. It's a reference to the tree spirits. That's exactly what it's referencing the same thing Zelda is.
Okay, never mind.
And yeah, no. Izuku Midoriya, goddamn. What I could have given him Giga Chad, maybe I should have, but I didn't because I put him here. There are 2 characters I'm giving higher accolades to. But you want one of the most selfless characters in all of anime. This is Vasha Stampede levels of selflessness.
Okay.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 would be Lilisa Suzunomiya.
Fantastic choice. I gave her character arc for a reason. She is a fantastic character.
Yeah, really, I consider the 4 of them joint protagonists, but strictly speaking, Lilisa is the protagonist, so.
I could see it, but I have to agree. She is definitely the one I'd consider them the actual protag.
Yeah.
My number 2 goes to Scarlet L. Van Diemen, and may I ask for one final thing? Because, I mean, of course. She's way too much fun to watch. Just punch everything. And she's also entertaining as hell. So, yeah. So who's your number 2?
Speaking of being entertaining as hell, Miss Yu Tani, a bad girl.
Oh my god. Oh, fair enough. I could see that for you.
Yeah.
And we're the same number 1. And I'm not even surprised now that I'm saying it. And we come up with these mostly separately, so it's kind of funny when we do this. And it's Samara Young from Let's Play. Because just for all the reasons we've already talked about when we talked about her.
Oh yeah, just very relatable in a good way.
Absolutely. All right, Archangel, why don't you lead us to the dark side with the best antagonists?
All right, so Iana Magnolia from The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess, and this is me being an asshole, saying, she is such an accomplished and terrifying villainess.
Oh, yes. Your number 3 and your number 2 made me look at you with my head tilted when we were coming up with these, and I'm like,
now you see my stupid.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, but I think
logic.
you're wasting. I think you're wasting a good season's worth of villains by doing it, though. Because you do the same thing for
it's
your
my
number
party,
2.
and I'll cry if I want to. Yeah,
I suppose you will.
Well, I probably would have left Iana in there since she got edged out of the top 3 for protag, but yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. For best antag, for my number 3, Hero Academia wins again for All for One. This guy has spent an entire 8-season run being smug as all hell and just keeps winning. He keeps winning. And when he finally loses, the crash out is real and it is incredibly satisfying. If that's not one of the best antagonists of in anime as a whole, let alone the season, I don't know what is. The only reason he's in number 3 is, again, it's been around.
Okay.
So, what's your stupid number 2? Because I've alluded your number 2
Is
is a similar
again
choice.
Miss Yu Utani for being such a terrible, terrible troublemaker.
She's such a bad girl.
Exactly.
You dum-dum.
Sue me.
I'm being goofy with you. My number 2 goes to the one who made me made me cringe the most, and that is Hifumi Oshibu in Sanda. Oh God, what a piece of work! I cannot wait for him to to just be done with that guy.
Yeah, well, ironically, the most infantile person in the whole show, inappropriately.
Indeed, but there is one who's even more infantile, and she's our joint number 1 best antagonist.
Oh God, so fucking hateable.
Oh God, and just such a hateable villain.
Yeah.
Taraneza Hopkins.
Yeah.
And may I ask one final thing, because damn. Just damn.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for best vocal performances. And Archangel, I hate you because I'm gonna have to make an image for that. I hope you realize that.
Well, sue me. So,
We'll get to that in a minute here, but your number 3 for best vocal performance is
Monica Rial as, again, Yu Utani, just because she had way too much fun with this.
I can totally see that. My number 3 goes to Kelsey Cruz as Iana Magnolia in The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess.
Yes. So much so that she is my number 1.
She's fantastic. I can't argue that.
She waded into this role with no fucks given, and it shows.
And
it's
beautiful.
magnificent.
It is absolutely beautiful. It's your number 2 here that I want to smack you for.
Okay, well, my number 2 is, for the first and probably the last time, we'll see, a group award, but I couldn't square the circle any other way. It's for all 4 of the primary cast of Rock is a Lady's Modesty, specifically Lucy Christian as Elisa, Natalie Rial as Odaha, Carly Hawk as Tina, and Annie Wilde as Tamaki. And it's not so much their individual performances, although they're all exceptional. It's their synergy and their chemistry as a quartet.
They are all fantastic, and I can't argue with that. I just hate you because I'm gonna have to figure out how to display that. That's why I'm mad at you over it. Other than that, I completely get what you're going for.
Your suffering abuses me. Now,
screw you too. But yeah, no, that's honestly a pretty good pick. Normally I make myself suffer with ties, so I can't argue when you do it for the first time. My number 2, this is a Lifetime Achievement Award, goes to Justin Briner as Izuku Midoriya, Deku in My Hero Academia. I just got done talking about how he's one of the best protagonists in pretty much in anime. I'm still giving Justin Briner number 2, not number 3 here, because he does that good of a job portraying an exceptionally selfless character in a believable and relatable way. He is a fantastically voiced character. I've heard Justin Briner and other things. He's absolutely got range. I've heard him be some crazy psychotic characters before, but this is a character that is incredibly genuine, and it really, really feels it. Justin Briner absolutely owns this role. It's a career-defining role for him for sure, and it's certainly worth the praise I'm giving it. He's earned my number 2 spot. And of course, we already know your number 1 is my number 3, which is Kelsey Cruz as Iana Magnolia. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Just her ability to balance being a spaz with being still somehow believable and still being
The
able to
rants.
take it seriously. Well, there's that, but it's balanced with you can still somehow take her seriously as a character.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a
I
very
get you.
difficult balance to pull off.
Totally agree with you there.
Whereas, I mean, as much fun as Monica had with you, there's no way to take you seriously, and that's on purpose. I think Kelsey's performance is much more nuanced in this instance, as befits the respective characters.
Fair enough. My number one goes to the man, the myth, the legend, in what I would call a career-defining performance, but he's already got several.
Yeah.
And that's Patrick Seitz as Tensuro Tojima, because, oh my god. I have made Rider Punch jokes on this podcast several times trying to mimic his Rider Punch, and I'm never going to be good enough.
No.
Oh my
Actually,
god. He's threw himself into this role.
With no disrespect to the Japanese VA, whose name I probably should have looked up, I think Patrick Seitz captures the spirit of the old TV show even better than he does. And I did listen to parts of the Japanese voiceover, and that VA does a fantastic job. He clearly is steeped in this stuff too. But oh my god, I wouldn't be surprised if Patrick was already a fan.
I would not be surprised either. But he absolutely threw himself into this.
Yes.
And you can feel it. You can absolutely feel the dedication, the absolute passion that this character requires to be taken seriously at all. Because otherwise he's just a joke. And he's not just a joke. And Patrick Seitz makes that work so well. I couldn't do anything less than give him my number one best vocal performance.
Yep. Who's an ordinary person who is literally defeating supernatural people through the pure power of his titanium balls.
And Patrick Seitz brings those to full display.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know that I love the character as much as I do without Patrick Seitz voicing him.
Probably not. Or somebody equally, or a performance of equal merit. But the list of people who could deliver that is relatively short.
Indeed. Well, that brings us to best art direction, and we have no shortage of things to put towards this.
Oh goodness, no.
There are going to be several shows that we could list that we're not, and it's just because the competition is that
we
strong.
could have done 5 or 10, but we didn't.
We always limit ourselves to 3, except for the one time we didn't, and I don't really want to do that again. For subcategories.
I don't regret it, but
no, I don't either. We did that for intros and endings last time we did this, and I don't regret it. But we could have this time too. There were plenty of great intros and endings, but the reason we did it last time was there were that many that were that powerful. This season, I didn't feel quite that way.
Not at all. Most of them were fine.
I mean, there are several others that would have been like amazing, but like not enough to get a whole 10. I could have done 6.
Okay.
But best art direction, and I lost track of who is where.
I don't know. You go first.
All right. My number 3 goes to Sonda because, I mean, look at it.
Yep.
I don't know what else to say. Sonda is absolutely gorgeous.
Yep. So much so that wait, what did I do? Oh, I think I made a blooper in my list. So hang on a second. Yeah, that there's no way that's right. No, seriously.
Yeah, I see that.
And I'll tell you what I had put, but that's got to be a goof. I did all this. I put my list together in about 30 minutes this morning. So, I probably copy pasted something in the wrong place, but
you were saying that you agree with me on Sonda.
Oh yes, so much so that it is my number 1.
I don't blame you. That is a fantastic choice.
Yeah,
there's only 2 other shows I like better. There's only 2 shows I like better in stylization, but Sonda stylization is in fact quite good.
And also just a genuinely unusual art style.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
So what's your number 3, Ark?
My number 3 is Sword of the Demon Hunter because I am a sucker for a good period piece.
It's
Of any
probably my number
period.
4. Probably my number 4 for the exact same reason. It's really, really lit. It knows how to display the past and the present as separate time periods, and it does so very well.
But it feels like the same continuity, and it's not so much. I don't think the past actually looked like that exactly. It's more evoking the feel of that particular period, at least as it's come down to us in popular culture. I don't know. I don't know enough about Japanese history to speak to the reality, and certainly it feels like modern day, but yet it's a unified art style. It's quite amazing.
Fair enough. My number 2 is another Lifetime Achievement Award for My Hero Academia, in this case, final season. Superhero design. Absolutely.
Oh, God,
Superhero
yes.
design, as done by Japan in anime form. This is such a unique look and feel. Nothing feels like Hero Academia. I could not give it a nod.
Yeah, even I, barely having paid attention to the show outside of saying, "Oh, I need to watch that someday." Even I could tell you when you're looking at MHA, you know it's MHA
Yeah,
just
it
from a
stands out.
glance. Yeah,
It has a very unique identity, and I had to shout that out. So that's my number
Indeed.
2. So what's your number 2?
Well, what I put for number 2, at least what was written, was Bad Girl, and while its art isn't bad, it's completely generic. So because it's not trying to stand out artistically, it's trying to be silly. So it's just generic slice of life. So what I assume I meant was Let's Play. Um, for all the things we've talked about before, I'm not going to repeat
Yeah,
myself.
and I agree so much about Let's Play. That's actually my number 1.
Yeah.
And as we said before, your number 1 is Sonda.
Indeed.
Okay. It's the second to last category. It's the biggest dumbass. And Ark, why don't you lead us in?
Okay, well, my number 3 is yet again Yu Tani, a bad girl, just
I
because
can't argue that. I cannot give
Yeah.
that argument to that.
That's kind of the point of the show.
It kind of is. My number 3 goes to Iana Magnolia in Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess because, oh my god, she is so
Yeah,
dumb.
well, her teenage self certainly was. I think her
Yeah.
current self, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's
I mean,
a lot of things she
she's
could
number
handle
3.
better.
She's number 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of things she could handle better than she does, but she has a tendency to panic.
That's why I give her that's how she got on
Yeah.
the list. The panic rants are what I'm referring to here. They're funny as hell. I love them, but she's kind of a dum-dum. Well, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Yomi Blackensara from The Dark History of the Reincarnated
Excellent choice.
Villainess.
He is a dum-dum.
Oh, he is so fucking stupid. Just it's something in common with my number 1 is just he will not listen.
You're not wrong.
Which also should be grounds for the death penalty, in my very, very biased opinion. Because, yeah. To quote Drakitafel one time, he's an offhanded comment. He says, "You do not want to put me in charge. I am not a merciful god." So much funnier coming from a British engineer than from me, but.
Well,
Anyway.
my number 2 goes to Celia Marshall Raid in Pass the Monster Meat Lady. Why are you this stupid? This is the stepmother.
Oh, I had forgotten all about her, actually. Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't,
I mean,
because that is some terminal level stupidity.
yeah, well, I mean, she's not their problem anymore, thankfully. God
No, but that she's still stupid. You have this huge asset that you could use, but oh, I don't like it. I turn my nose up at profit and development for my land because I don't like it. Are you dumb? Well, the answer is
Well,
yes. She is, in fact, my
Remember the
second
three
biggest dumbass.
Yeah, remember the 3 rules of history. Rule 1, important people are people. Rule 2, people are stupid. Rule 3, see rule 1.
Yep, and that's how she got my number 2.
Yep. A fine choice.
And we have the same number 1, but I mean, who
Oh,
else could it
yes.
possibly have been?
Oh my god, this guy.
The biggest dumbass, possibly in all of anime, but definitely in this season.
Oh god. Well, I don't know about anime. There's no way you could determine in all of anime.
I would
but,
have to really think about it. Yeah,
I
that's why I said
don't think it's
possibly.
possible.
I put a,
But yeah,
I,
we've got some
I
real
put an operative
contenders.
in there for a reason. But
yes, Mr. Ichio Shinomura from Tojima wants to be a common writer, which is leather jacket idiot.
yes, Ichiro Shimamura.
Oh, sorry, that looks like an N.
You've done that on a couple of these, but I'm just where you've kind of got a syllable wrong here or there.
No, I just misread a letter. Anyway,
Yeah, that's and I think that's what's been going on, honestly. Most of them haven't been bad, but that was I'm like I gotta say that. But yeah, Ichio, I'm V3. Okay, guy, and I'm V3. Okay, that's
and
literally
again, just literally does not listen to anything.
Nope. He just does what he feels like and does not listen to anything else going on.
Yeah.
Well, you made it here, or you clicked on the thumbnail or not thumbnail. You clicked on the chapter to get to the top 10 because this is the final countdown. Our 10 best anime of fall 2025, the final season of 2025.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, what I would think is interesting is our talk about why this, why that, and we've been through all that already. So if you skip
For a
straight to
lot of
this,
these,
I'm not sure why. But
a
anyway,
lot of people are going to do that because they just want the top 10. It's a thing.
okay. Well, if you're coming to us for a top 10, I mean, go form your own opinions because we're idiots. But
Why
anyway,
are you chasing the listeners away, Archangel? Why?
sorry.
We need the views. We're a baby channel over here.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's the free internet. Do what you want.
Indeed. But yes, it is the top 10 best shows. And my number 10, it's managed to barely cling on, even though it's already been around. It's sort of the Demon Hunter. Because, oh my god. You want a show I will remember probably for the rest of my life. This is it.
Fair enough. And my number 10, just honestly, just I'm not even sure why it's so far down, except that it's just got a lot of stiff competition. And also, I think this is I don't know what I was thinking when I just woken up this morning, but it's probably a subconscious reaction to it hitting a little close to home for me. So my number 10 is Sanda.
Fair enough. Looks like we have the same number 9, which is Spy Family.
Indeed.
It's warm, it's cuddly, it brings all the good, happy feelings. Anya's adorable. You got to root for her. Everyone is just great characters. Some of the best character writing I've ever seen.
Indeed. And the silly thing, I'm such a weirdo, but what stood out to me this season in particular for Spy Family is what they did with the uniforms in Lloyd's flashbacks to the war.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not steeped in the minutiae of military, it won't mean anything to you. But where the Westalis are wearing East German inspired stuff, and the Ostanians are wearing NATO inspired like Alice gear. So it's the switching of East and West, contrary to what you might expect, except the firearms are correct, and it's just funny. I think that whoever decided these things with the key art and stuff knew what they were doing and are just kind of trolling people, which I appreciate.
That is probably the mangaka, because this is a Shonen Jump manga.
Fair enough. Well, because there's no way they're that close to reality and yet deliberately switched like that if it's not deliberate.
Yeah, that would be Tatsuya Endo.
Okay. Excellent trolling then.
Indeed. Well, we also have the same number 8. And I'll let you do this one, Ark.
Yep, and our number 8 is Pass the Monster Meat Milady, which is just
It's such an adorable show.
mhm.
Um, Number 7 for me is May I Ask for One Final Thing? It's so much fun watching bad guys getting just beat up.
Oh yeah. Uh, yeah, it's a very good show. It didn't make my list, I don't think. Yeah, no. Uh, but not for any lack of quality.
I mean, there's a few things on your end that I feel the same way about, so that's fine. In fact,
Okay.
you've got your one like that for me as your number 7.
Indeed, which is a star brighter than the sun.
Very good show. Didn't quite make my list, but a good show all nonetheless. So we talked about it briefly earlier, but I don't normally like
Okay.
romances, but I did that time.
Fair enough.
Now,
And
it
our
was
number
lower
6
on your
is
list, but it's Sonda.
okay.
Much higher for me than it was for you. I thought this was a fantastic show. Give me more, please. The drama was just so well done.
Oh, yeah.
What's your number 6?
Well, my number 6 is the dark history of the reincarnated villainess, and again, it's so high up the list because of that excellent balance of comedy and seriousness, just enough seriousness to keep it from descending into complete farce like Bad Girl,
Fair enough.
which I don't think
I
would have
mean,
worked for this like it does for Bad Girl.
probably not. And I like that one a lot. It's going to show up further down my list.
Okay.
Well, my number 5 goes to Rock is a Lady's Modesty for many reasons we've already talked about, but just the absolute sheer dedication to the what it's doing.
Indeed. And my number 5 is Hero Without a Class, who even needs skills.
An excellent choice. One that would have been on my list if not for other things on my list. It's a very good show.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is My Hero Academia final season. I have not cried, and this one I'm gonna have to take a little more time on because I put this on here for a reason. I have not cried this much in an anime in a long time. This was the pitch perfect ending to a near decade long anime series. I couldn't put it any lower than this, even though it's a long runner. They don't make endings like this usually. Um, it is people were complaining about the ending to the manga, and I want to know why because this was amazing. So that's my number 4. What's
Are they the
yours?
same?
What?
Are they the same, the manga and the anime, in terms of the ending?
Yes.
Okay. Then I don't know. Well, in my experience, people complain about anything, but
I'm aware of some of the complaints that just make me want to shake my head at people, but
well, anyway, so my number 4 was your number 5, Rock is a Lady's Modesty.
I loved it.
Indeed.
All right, my number 3 was further down on your list is The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. I loved this show. This show, Bad Girl made you laugh like crazy. This show made me laugh like crazy.
Fair enough. I could totally see why. And it's definitely made me laugh, but it did not reduce me to stitches, probably for the wrong reasons, but still, as my number 3, which is Bad Girl.
I think that
And
just
for
shows
those
our
of you,
differences in humor, because it did reduce me to
I
stitches a
couldn't
lot.
explain why. I don't usually go for stupid humor like this, at least not in this concentration. But for some reason, so for those of you who are just to skipped ahead, basically the TLDR with me and Bad Girl this season, I gave it a whole mess of awards just because it just made me laugh so hard it hurt, and I couldn't tell you why.
It did because it did. Dark History was that for me.
Yeah, it's
That thing
just
just made me laugh
so
a lot.
fucking stupid.
I will agree with you on that on Bad Girl. Now, I will
Yeah.
say, when Bad Girl did get me to laugh, it also put me in stitches.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said previously, it's a little too repetitive for me. But when it is funny, it's very funny.
I think I probably just tuned out the repetitive stuff. I don't know. All right.
We have the same number 2 and number 1. That's amazing.
Indeed. Well, not really, if you consider this season.
That's fair. Well,
yeah.
I'll do our number 2, and I'll let you do our number 1.
As you wish.
Our number 2 choice is Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. That sheer dedication to what it's doing. I don't know what else to say. Patrick Slice carries it, but he's not the only one.
No, all the main cast are 100%. Well, all the cast are 110% committed. There is so much love for this cornerstone of Japanese and world pop culture that I didn't even know about. So if you've, like me, before this had never heard of Kamen Rider, go watch or go listen to our episode when you've,
Yep,
on a
we had a
on a jogger in the car or something, because we found someone who is steeped in it, and
it's
he
my
explained it for us.
My buddy from the John Faithful podcast, Steven, was with us. He is a huge Kamen Rider nerd, and he really helped explain a lot. I definitely recommend checking out that episode.
Yep. And also the show. If you haven't watched it, go watch the show.
Go
first.
watch the show. Absolutely. You won't regret it.
Yeah. It's just bonkers. And you don't need to, again, as me, I had never heard of this except for seeing the Starfish Hitler meme.
Well, that's you. I was aware of Kamen Rider. I just didn't know much about it, but I knew what it was.
I had never heard of it, and I enjoyed the show to the nines. You don't need to know a damn thing.
I was aware of Kamen Rider existing. I knew it by name. I knew what it looked like, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, knowing context, it's taken from me. Knowing context just makes it better. It is not a prerequisite in any way, shape, or form.
Agreed. Well, that leads us to our mutual number 1 pick. And
number 1,
given the list, you can probably all guess it.
Yep, Let's Play, which is, again, for those of you just joining us, is a show for our generation, by our generation, about our generation. And it is way too real in all the best possible ways.
Absolutely. Fantastic show all around. Great characters, great music, great art. It's the total package.
Yeah, and one of the best intros I've seen it's probably the best intro of the year.
Again, I don't know if I agree with that, but it's certainly in the running.
Yeah,
and we will be doing a year award, probably not immediately after this. My editing self will hate me if I do 2 of these back to back, but it is coming. 2025 definitely was a year worth celebrating.
In anime terms, yes.
Well, yes, that is the implication of what I'm referring to.
All right.
But that is our awards for the fall 2025 season, which is still clinging on a little bit for Crunchyroll, because we've had several delays due to the holidays, as is normal, end of the year stuff. But we are already kicking into winter 2026. We have several shows that have showed up. We mentioned earlier we watched Sentenced to Be a Hero, and we watched the dub of Digimon Beat Break, and several more things are coming along through the pike. Hero Academia Vigilante Season 2 is actually scheduled for next weekend, so we will be back at that pretty soon. there's a lot of stuff coming around, and it looks to be another great season. The anime keeps coming, y'all. It never stops.
Indeed. And as
But
long as there is anime, at least as long as we're able, we will be here commenting on that of it, which it is simuldubbed into English.
indeed, that is why we're here. We're trying to be helpful. We hope that we have been so, but we like to highlight and help show the best that comes out, at least that we watch. We do not watch everything. We couldn't possibly. We watch a lot, like
Yeah.
more than 20 shows a season. But we couldn't
Yeah,
possibly watch
it's
them all.
we sample, I think, everything, or at
We
least
do.
everything on High
We
Dive and
try.
Crunchyroll now. It's a long story why we are boycotting Amazon, at least for now. We'll see how that goes. And we're open to other platforms, of course. So, but we will drop shows if they're offensive or just that uninteresting. Is basically
Yeah,
how it boils down.
we have our own tastes, as you can tell. So some shows we don't watch. Sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just a long runner that would take too long for people to catch up on. Like, for
Also, yes,
example,
yeah.
I watched Your Academia Final Season because I was current. There is no way I would get our group of people who watch anime with us. There's no way I'd get you all through 7 seasons of that. Although for Hero, I could have done it with R Dragon and Red Gumby because they were watching it with me in the other place I watch anime. But there would have been a disservice to you to be like, all right, let's watch 7 seasons of Hero Academia. No.
I would have just blocked you for a month.
God.
If you come to me with that and been serious about it, yeah.
Yeah, no. I might ask you to do a season.
Yeah, no.
That's about it.
So if you haven't heard this story before, when we lived together over the course of about a year and a half to 2 years, LK showed me all of Dragon Ball and all of Dragon Ball Z in order. He has no right to make me watch any long form thing that I don't want to ever again.
I mean, you enjoyed it at the time, at least.
I enjoyed parts of it. Mostly, it just was a thing for us to do together as friends.
Fair enough. But yeah, I guess it's time to throw to my YouTube shout out. And today, we're shouting out Secret Galaxy. Not that they need a small group like us to shout them out. They are a much larger channel than us, but still, you might not have heard of them. I know I mentioned them a while back to Ark, and you hadn't heard of them, which is why I'm shouting them out. Secret Galaxy, formerly Toy Galaxy, does mini documentaries on all your childhood favorite topics, from Transformers to Star Trek Voyager to Over the Garden Wall. Dan Larson goes into just enough detail to be fascinating without being so long that it's boring, usually about a half an hour worth of episode. So if you love other nerdy stuff besides anime, and sometimes even anime, they're sure to have a video that interests you. New episodes are released weekly on YouTube. They're always a fantastic watch. So that's my shout out. Highly recommend. So that is that. Man, I got to do a shout out. That's usually you're the one. I'm like, oh, that's what this is like.
Yeah, I mean, you've got every other week if you want it.
I just have to consider if I have anything. And this came up because I was like, oh yeah, Secret Galaxy. You're like, what? I'm like, oh, you don't know Secret Galaxy? So I had to do it.
Sure.
That was a while ago when that conversation happened, but this is the most recent episode we've done since then. So,
all right.
But I suppose it's time for us to close up shop. So, Ark, where can the people find you?
Well, as of tomorrow, getting stuck into Terra Invicta because version 1 drops tomorrow as we record this.
Ooh, fancy.
Also been doing a little bit into Schedule 1, although one of my key mods just hasn't updated yet. Mind Mogul, RMC 14, the usual. And I have to go back to work tomorrow also, so.
So we can find you at work.
I took the last 2 weeks off, so yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well, as far as games go, I've actually been playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. They had it on sale for $60 with all the DLC included, so I went ahead and did it. And I gotta say, it's better than Mario Kart.
Okay.
As for finding me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at LaserKidPrime. You can find me on Blue Sky at LaserKid. And you can find me on the Toonami Faithful podcast with friend of the podcast, Sketch, Kuro, Steven, who we mentioned a minute ago, and several other awesome people that we talk about Toonami with. And sometimes Arc shows up to talk about various shows. So that's a thing where you can find me. As for the Simuldub Saints, you can find us on social media at Simuldub Saints on both Twitter and Blue Sky. We also have a Facebook group that you can find. It is linked on the YouTube channel and on the Spotify podcast page, which is where you can find the podcast itself. We do recommend the YouTube version because I do put things on the screen, especially for an award episode like this one. We absolutely take full advantage of the fact that it's a visual medium. But the Spotify version is there for those of you that prefer an audio version, and I think we do a decent enough job of describing what we're talking about that it should work just fine. So both of those are where you can find it. Now, Spotify does push that podcast out to several other platforms that you may also hear us on because of that. So we're out and about. Well, that about does it for this premiere 2026 episode of Simuldub Saints. So, Happy New Year, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.